Hey guys, welcome to Channel Kids Moral Stories.
Once upon a time, in a dense forest, there lived a big, fluffy bear named Benny. Benny was known for his bravery and kindness. One day, a severe storm hit the forest, causing the river to overflow and destroying many homes. Benny decided to embark on a journey to find help. He traveled through the forest, facing many challenges along the way. He crossed rushing streams, climbed steep hills, and encountered fierce creatures. But Benny was not afraid. He used his strength and cleverness to overcome each obstacle. As he journeyed, Benny met various animals who joined him on his quest. There was Max the Mouse, who was quick and agile, Sammy the Squirrel, who was nimble and fast, and Olga the Owl, who had sharp eyesight. Together, they reached the wise old badger's den, who told them about a hidden path leading to the nearby village. The villagers, he said, would have the resources to help the forest animals. Benny and his friends bravely followed the path, facing more challenges until they finally reached the village. The villagers were amazed by the brave bear and his friends. They provided them with food, shelter, and tools to rebuild their homes. Benny and his friends returned to the forest, where they were welcomed as heroes. The animals worked together, using the resources from the village to rebuild their homes and restore the forest. Benny's bravery and determination had saved the day, proving that even the biggest challenges can be overcome with courage and friendship. From then on, Benny was known as the bravest bear in the forest, and his legendary journey was told and retold for generations to come.
Once upon a time, in a small village nestled in the rolling hills of a far-off land, there lived a young boy named Jack. Jack was a curious and creative child who loved to draw and sketch. He spent most of his free time doodling in his notebook, bringing his imagination to life with pencils, markers, and crayons. One day, while exploring the attic of his family's old cottage, Jack stumbled upon an unusual pencil. It was made of a strange, glowing material that seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy. As soon as he picked it up, he felt a sudden surge of creativity and inspiration. As Jack began to draw with the magical pencil, he discovered that his creations were coming to life. His sketches of animals, people, and fantastical creatures were transforming into real, living beings. A drawn cat would jump off the page and start purring. A drawn flower would bloom and fill the air with its sweet scent. News of the magical pencil spread quickly through the village, and soon, people were coming from all over to see Jack's incredible creations. The village elder, a wise and kind old man named Gabriel, recognized the pencil's power and took Jack under his wing. Gabriel taught Jack how to harness the pencil's magic, showing him how to bring his drawings to life while keeping them under control. As Jack's skills improved, he used the magical pencil to help those in need. He drew a new roof for a family whose home had been damaged in a storm, created a garden full of vibrant flowers to brighten up the village square, and even brought a drawn bridge to life to connect to separated parts of the village. But with great power comes great responsibility, and Jack soon realized that the magical pencil's energy was not limitless. Each time he used it, the pencil's glow would dim slightly, and Jack knew that he had to find a way to recharge its power before it was too late. Gabriel helped Jack embark on a quest to discover the pencil's secrets and find a way to restore its energy. They traveled to distant lands, seeking out wise sages, ancient artifacts, and hidden knowledge. Along the way, Jack learned about the history of the magical pencil, how it was created by a powerful sorcerer to bring joy and wonder to the world. After many trials and adventures, Jack and Gabriel finally discovered the secret to recharging the pencil's power. They found a hidden spring deep in a mystical forest, where the water was infused with the essence of creativity and imagination. Jack dipped the pencil in the spring, and its glow was restored to its former brilliance. From that day on, Jack continued to use the magical pencil to spread joy and wonder throughout the land. He knew that the pencil's power was a gift, and he was determined to use it wisely, bringing happiness and inspiration to all those around him.
Once upon a time, in a small village nestled in the mountains, there lived a young boy named Cato. Cato was known throughout the village for his exceptional kindness and respect towards everyone he met. One day, while wandering through the village, Cato came across a frail old man, struggling to carry his groceries. Without hesitation, Cato rushed to help the old man, carrying his bags and escorting him home. The old man, whose name was Mr. Tanaka, was deeply grateful for Cato's kindness. As Cato continued on his way, he encountered a group of children teasing a new student, Emma, who had recently moved to the village. Cato intervened, introducing himself and welcoming Emma to the village. He then invited her to join him and his friends for a game of soccer, making her feel included and valued. The next day, Cato's teacher, Mrs. Nakamura, asked him to assist a new student, Taro, who was struggling in class. Cato patiently tutored Taro, explaining concepts in a way that made sense to him. Taro was grateful for Cato's help and began to excel in class. As news of Cato's good deeds spread, the villagers began to notice a change in their own behavior. They started showing more respect and kindness towards one another, inspired by Cato's example. One day, a severe storm hit the village, causing widespread damage. Cato immediately sprang into action, helping his neighbors repair their homes and clean up the debris. Mr. Tanaka, Emma, Taro, and many others joined in, working together as a community. In the aftermath of the storm, the villagers gathered to celebrate their resilience and newfound sense of unity. Mrs. Nakamura stood up and praised Cato for his unwavering respect and kindness towards others, which had inspired the entire village to come together. Cato's selflessness and compassion had taught the villagers a valuable lesson, that respect for others is the foundation of a strong and supportive community. From that day forward, the village was forever changed, with Cato's example continuing to inspire generations to come. The story of Cato spread far and wide, a reminder to always treat others with respect, kindness, and compassion.
Once upon a time, in a quaint village, nestled beside a dense, enchanting forest, there lived an honest woodcutter named John. John was known throughout the village for his integrity and hard work. Every day, he ventured into the forest to chop wood, which he sold in the village market to support his family. One day, while chopping wood near a sparkling stream, John's axe slipped from his hands and fell into the water. The stream was deep and the current swift, and John could not retrieve his axe. He sat down by the stream, distraught, as his axe was his only means of earning a living. As John sat there, a bright light appeared above the water. Out of the light emerged a beautiful fairy, with shimmering wings and a kind smile. "Why are you so sad, dear woodcutter?" she asked in a gentle voice. John explained his predicament to the fairy, who listened with compassion. "Do not worry," she said, "I will help you." The fairy disappeared beneath the water and emerged a moment later, holding a magnificent golden axe. "Is this your axe?" the fairy asked. John gazed at the golden axe, which was worth a fortune, but he shook his head. "No, that is not my axe," he replied honestly. The fairy smiled and disappeared beneath the water again. She soon reappeared, this time holding a splendid silver axe. "Is this your axe?" she asked. John again shook his head. "No, that is not my axe either," he said. The fairy nodded approvingly and dived back into the water once more. When she surfaced, she was holding John's old, worn iron axe. "Is this your axe?" she asked. John's face lit up with relief and joy. "Yes, that is my axe," he exclaimed. The fairy was so impressed by John's honesty that she gave him all three axes, the golden, the silver, and his iron one. "Your honesty and integrity deserve a reward," she said, handing him the axes. John returned to the village, and the story of his encounter with the fairy quickly spread. The villagers admired John's honesty and the blessings it brought him. From that day on, John continued his work with even greater joy, grateful for the gifts he had received. The moral of the story is that honesty and integrity are always rewarded in unexpected ways, and they bring true and lasting blessings.
Once upon a time, in a small village at the edge of a forest, there lived a sweet and gentle girl named Little Red Riding Hood. She was called so because of the bright red cloak she always wore. One day, Little Red Riding Hood's mother asked her to take a basket of freshly baked cookies to her sick grandmother, who lived in a nearby village. Little Red Riding Hood set off on the journey, walking through the forest path. As she walked, she encountered a sly and cunning Wolf. The Wolf approached her and asked where she was headed. Little Red Riding Hood naively told him about her trip to see her grandmother. The Wolf, with ill intentions, asked her to pick some flowers for her grandmother, and Little Red Riding Hood obliged. Meanwhile, the Wolf quickly ran ahead to grandmother's house. He ate the grandmother and disguised himself as her, waiting for Little Red Riding Hood's arrival. When Little Red Riding Hood arrived, the Wolf disguised as grandmother asked her to come closer. Little Red Riding Hood noticed something strange and said, "Grandmother, what big eyes you have." The Wolf replied, "The better to see you with, my dear." Little Red Riding Hood then said, "Grandmother, what big teeth you have." The Wolf replied, "The better to eat you with." Just then, a brave woodsman appeared at the door and saved Little Red Riding Hood by cutting open the Wolf's stomach with his axe. Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother emerged unharmed. Little Red Riding Hood and her grandmother reunited, and the woodsman was hailed as a hero. From then on, Little Red Riding Hood was more cautious on her journeys, but she never lost her kindness and generosity. The story of Little Red Riding Hood teaches children the importance of being aware of their surroundings and the potential dangers of talking to strangers. Like and subscribe channel for more stories.